I've got nothing. Happy Monday, BBN, and welcome into another edition of the KSR Weekly Round-Up. As always, I am Brent Wainscott, and as always, this edition of the KSR Weekly Round-Up is brought to you by Justice Dental. However, like I said last week, we're going to continue with the puns. There's not a whole lot to smile about this week as Kentucky goes 0-2 on the week and just completely obliterated the start to 2021 that they had just a few weeks ago.
Oh no! We suck again!
Like I said, Kentucky did go 0-2 on the week, losing to both Alabama teams in the SEC. Let's start with Saturday. Kentucky loses to Auburn 66-59 in what was quite possibly the ugliest basketball game of all time. 7 minutes into the game, the score was 2-2, and both teams combined for just 2 field goals. However, things started heating up for Kentucky once they put in Dante Allen and Jacob Toppin. They both pitched in 8 points for the half, but for some mystical reason, Coach Cal decided to only play Dante Allen for 8 minutes in the second half. Now, we thought we were all past these complaints for Dante Allen to see the floor, but for some reason, Coach Cal didn't think it would fit for this struggling offensive team to get the one guy who has let this offense flow into the game. As a result, Kentucky doesn't even break 60, and they lose to Auburn. So what was Coach Cal's reasoning for not playing Dante Allen in the second half, but for only 8 minutes? Here's his answer.
At the end of the day, we were running stuff for Dante, and he wouldn't shoot the ball. And that's why I took him out the one time. We ran 2 things for him, and he had shots, and he wouldn't take them. And I'm like, look, you're in there to make shots. So that was one thing. But Dante wasn't the issue. I want to win every game we coach, but the other side of it is I'm not trying to take anybody's heart away. So you can sub them when, 3-4 minutes in and go.
Now look, like I've said 1,000 times before, we all love Coach Cal, but it is growing old now. It is 2021, Kentucky's 4-8, and if the tournament started today, they would not be in it. This is unacceptable, and we have complained about the stubbornness for this entire season, to be honest with you, and we all thought that had been tucked away after Kentucky started 3-0 in conference. Dante Allen was playing. It seemed like the team was flowing with Keon Brooks emerging, but after these past 2 games, Coach Cal's stubbornness, is back in the fold. His stubbornness to play the guys who aren't 5 stars is crushing this team, and that's not to mention that his style of play is what's killing Kentucky too. And that was evident on Tuesday when they got boat raced by Nate Oates in Alabama in what was a game for first place in the SEC. It was a game of modern basketball versus Coach Cal's old style of basketball that worked 10 years ago. And Kentucky lost by 20, the worst loss at Rupp in the Cal era. Like I said, Cal's got to wake up and smell the roses, or this team is doomed. This tradition is doomed. Kentucky's 4-8. This is not normal. This is embarrassing for Kentucky. And if anyone knows that, it's Coach Cal. Now, he's got to get things together and rearrange things, and I'm sure he will, and I'm sure we'll all buy into a Kentucky run by the time the SEC tournament comes around. But time's running out on this team, and if he doesn't figure it out, it's going to be a full 2 calendar years before we, the Big Blue Nation, get to see our beloved Cats and the big dance.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Now over to the gridiron for what was probably the best news of the week. Kentucky got 2 confirmed huge stars back on their roster for 2021. First and foremost, leading rusher for the Cats last season, Chris Rodriguez, is returning for the backfield for the Cats as he is Pro Football Focus's best running back returning into college football in 2021. But the biggest news of the week, that Mr. Kentucky football, Frankfort native, Western Hill alum, former Kentucky commit, former Nebraska Cornhusker Wan'Dale Robinson is finally coming to Lexington. At Nebraska, he set freshman records for receiving yards and receptions. He was also a Paul Orning Award finalist in the past 2 seasons. You guys may remember Lynn Bowden won that award in 2019. But now, Mark Stoops and Liam Cohen finally have that one stud that can push them over the top, something Kentucky didn't have in 2020. What Wan'Dale Robinson brings to the table is something that Lynn Bowden brought, something Benny Snell and Josh Allen brought, and that is a star ability that can push Kentucky over the top. In fact, Wan'Dale Robinson is so versatile, He could probably be considered in the Heisman conversation someday if he stays long enough and gets the opportunities. Same thing with Chris Rodriguez. And all of this is leading to Kentucky being a preseason favorite to come in second in the SEC East behind Georgia.
What? Huh? What?
So Kentucky's path to the SEC East might just come down to a game between the hedges. And if you can minimize this season to one game against Georgia, anything can happen. I'm not saying book your flights to Atlanta, but in my opinion, this is the best chance Kentucky has had in a really, really long time to head to Atlanta. I, for one, am really excited. The KSR football staff is really excited. Nick Roush, Freddie Maggard, and Adam Luckett have everything you need to know about Wan'Dale Robinson on the site. That's all the time we have for this week's KSR Weekly Roundup. You can listen to all this weekend's headlines on KSR this morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you want, check out Matt Jones on Bill Maher on HBO Max. As always, stay safe, go Cats. I'm Brent Wainscott.